Institute of Event Management presents Destination Dubai in association with Palazzo Versace.
This is Mahavir Radha Jangra and we are here at Palazzo Versace Dubai with the young delegation of Institute of Event Management India. A warm welcome to everyone on Event TV Live. We are on a mission to explore Dubai with Destination Dubai. Meet Mr. Mansoor Memarian, the General Manager and Executive Chef at Palazzo Versace Dubai. Cooking is his passion and he is first Iranian and German to head a Michelin-starred restaurant. We also have a celebrated wedding planner from Dubai on the dais with us, Mr. Arun Bablani, founder and owner of Vivaah Weddings. He is also founder of Middle East Wedding Association, worked on over 250 weddings across 26 countries. He is also known for the first wedding at Disneyland Paris. I would like to welcome again Mr. Mansoor. How are you?
Fantastic. Thanks for having me here. Thank you so much. Great to be always with you. I started as a steward in one of the very famous restaurants in Germany about 6 months because there was no availability for a place for me to do my apprenticeship. My dream was always to cook Michelin star below my age of 27. So I know everything was for me 27. 27 was the number to cook my Michelin star. It's because it's actually the biggest award a chef can achieve. It's like an Oscar for a actor or actress. So with 26 something, I was able to reach my dream. I was one of the youngest at that time in Europe. 2009, I went to Austria. I cooked the second Michelin star and chef of the year in Austria. And after, I think 2010, Burj Al Arab called. So I joined one of the most prestigious hotel and continued. And I am now, I would say, in one of the most beautiful hotels in the world, Palazzo Versace. Started here as executive chef and working with an amazing team. And the team actually supported me to become the hotel manager I am now. And I'm grateful to have achieved that and grateful to be in this house.
Mr. Arun, you are celebrated wedding planner and among the top in Dubai and I'm sure in a couple of countries. When did you realize that yes, you will be one of the wedding planner?
I did my bachelor's, I did my master's, and then I got into events. Even though my parents were very open they were very open for me to follow my heart. Unfortunately, my parents could not give me guidance in events because nobody in the family was into events. And I decided to diverge and move into events. So I started with corporate events, I did brand activations, I worked with big companies like Unilever, Louis Vuitton, General Mills, so FMCG, car companies like Mercedes. I did product launches. So I'll tell you what happened. I went through every phase of events. I did exhibitions, I did brand launches, I did fashion shows, and then I left the company and I'm like, I have to have a different calling. I cannot live in the world of corporate, putting on a suit every day, going to meet your clients. There's big money in it, but when you're following your heart, money means nothing. Money becomes a byproduct of your business. And one of my friends said, whilst you're looking for another job, can you please help me with my wedding? And I said, I can do events. I don't do weddings. I don't understand weddings. So he's like, no, please help me. I'm getting married and I'll pay you. I said, no, I don't want to get paid, but I'll help you. And he's like, no, you're giving me your time. I'll give you a payment, which I then very gladly took because my first wedding was a big learning for me because people start small. My first wedding was a 1,600 people wedding.
Oh, wow.
At the Madinah Jumeirah, which is not common for This was in 2011. And then I finished the wedding and I got a lot of praises. People liked it. I put a team together temporarily. And then I realized this might be my future. So I started doing weddings. We started small in 2012. Put a team of 2 people together. Started working out of my home. Then we grew bigger, moved into an office. And it's been 10 years. On the 24th of March, we finished 10 years to the business.
You've already covered 26 countries. Which of the country outside Dubai you like the most?
You know, I would be very biased because I was born and raised here. Dubai is literally my favorite city in the world when it comes to weddings. UAE is my favorite country. We do weddings across 6 out of the 7 Emirates, but Dubai always remains on the top of my list. Obviously, we've done weddings in the GCC region, whether it's Bahrain or Oman or Kuwait or Jordan and other parts of the world, but UAE still remains my favorite destination.
Mr. Mansoor,
Yes.
few of the behind the scene things that you would like to share.
I can assure you, behind the scenes are really it's the theater starts behind the scenes. So in front of this, in front of the stage, everybody smiles, but behind the scenes is always a different story. But I will never forget when I started to do my first Indian wedding. It was 6 years ago. The first event came in. I remember it was the day the wedding to start, and my team was briefed. We were 128 chefs. Everybody was briefed. Everybody was, excited for the caterer chef to arrive. There were 68 chefs awaited by us. Yeah. So, and then I saw the first bus coming in. The chefs came with their luggages, with their special spices, and I thought they don't look like chefs. These guys, they don't look like chefs. And then they came. They started to organize themselves, and then I was looking at the tools and and the areas they were working with. So I can assure you I had on that day 3-4 heart attacks. So because it's a different philosophy of starting everything. They were all very relaxed, and the wedding we were expecting like around 500 people. They were all very relaxed. They had their tea. Everybody was doing his own job. So and I was very nervous. But then I felt, it was on the same day. I felt, look at these guys, they're having fun. Whatever they do, they might only do chopping only onions the entire day. So one person does only biryani, but these guys they put their passion in. It was you could feel really, perhaps exaggerated to feel the love in the air, love for cooking, but it was very organized. It wasn't machine chain. It was a chain. One piece was going into another, and there was no supervisor needed. Everybody was supervising himself. So that's what I started, to understand the passion of cooking from the other side. And I have to say, it helped me so much in my career the last 5-6 years, to look at things perhaps differently, and not always, not everything has to go to the German way. So you can achieve your goal also by going sometimes left, have a tea, and then coming back, have a coffee, and then go towards the goal. So this was the biggest learning I had from weddings.
Arun, 250 weddings. You have to share some of the learnings and, of course, behind the scenes. Few of your favorite behind the scenes that you would like to share. 250
weddings, again, like Chef said, means 2,500 behind the scenes. So we can do a separate session just for behind the scenes. But one that comes to mind is with our Disneyland Paris wedding, because no one had ever dared to do a wedding at Disneyland Paris for 26 years. And then all of a sudden, this wedding planner wakes up from Dubai, flies to Paris and says, I want to do a wedding. And they're kind people. They're receptive. They were welcoming. But just being receptive and welcoming does not do a wedding. A lot goes into a wedding. Almost 80 different vendors, 150 artists. The food is a whole challenge altogether. And then on top of it, the bureaucracy of working with Disney. Disney has so many rules, regulations, protocols that you have to follow. The one interesting thing I'll tell you is, in order for me to work in Disneyland Paris, we had to go under the contract of Disneyland Paris. So we became employees of Disney for 1 week, and we all had badges for Disney so we could access the back. So even though we were Vivaah Weddings running the business, we were employees for that 1 week of Disneyland Paris. So we signed employment contracts to become employees of Disneyland Paris. The second thing was food. It took almost 3 months and 150 people to sign off permissions to bring Indian food into Disneyland Paris. After getting all the permissions, we realized that they don't have a kitchen to give us. So what do? How can you get all the permissions and we have no kitchen? Because they're used to French cuisine, Mediterranean, Italian. They also have the Agrabah Cafe where they do a little bit of Arabic, but no one does Indian food. So we first said, can you please give us a space so we can create a makeshift kitchen and we'll run from that. They said, we don't have space. I said, you have a whole city. Can you not give me a small space? They said, no, it's not allowed. So after a lot of going back and forth, we created a system wherein the food was cooked in England every morning,
Oh my God.
vacuum packed, shipped to Paris, and served in Paris for the wedding. So that whole process took almost 4 months to go through. But hats off to the catering company who every morning religiously cooked at 3-4 in the morning, then shipped the food vacuum packed, brought into Paris and served for
Was
8
that Indian
meals.
company?
Indian company.
Which one, if you would like
It was
to?
called Tabla Catering
Tabla Catering.
from England, yeah.
Wow, superb.
I'm sure you've seen of vendors coming from one city to the other to bring light, sound, production, but you've probably never heard cooking in one country and bringing it to another to serve. Yeah, it's one of a kind. One of a kind. When we did the Disneyland Paris wedding, Disney sent one person from each one of the Disneys around the world to see how we were doing the wedding, so they could replicate that in the Disney of Singapore, Disney in Tokyo, Disney in Orlando. There were 6 people, representatives, that came to Disneyland Paris to see the wedding. So it was one of a kind.
We heard that the characters of Disneyland were actually dancing in the Barat.
It was very, again, a lot of permissions required, getting people from the Disney, having Mickey and Minnie come to the first dance. It was one of a kind. A lot of permissions were required, but that is true. We had 150 artists from India, from Rajasthan, that were flown down. So all folk dancers and along them were Disney characters. So we did that amalgamation, that fusion of Indian and Western. So it was definitely one of a kind.
Which one of your Versace wedding is close to your heart?
In fact, we just did one last year, end of last year in December. It was a big wedding. The family was from Belgium and India, and it was a 3-night, 4-day celebration. We had caterers come in. Again, we had 70 to 80 vendors, light and sound suppliers. We have artists. We had so many rooms here. We did the mandap in the middle of the pool, and the bride walked out. I think it's one of my closest to my heart here.
Great. Mansoor, why Palazzo Versace is among the top properties you think for Indian weddings?
Look, there are a lot of beautiful hotels, beautiful venues, amazing structures, but I think what makes us stand out of the crowd is, I think, the personality, the soul we also offer here. From the first moment, whoever comes into our house, starting with us to create an event, we want to be involved. We are not, and I would advise any other hotel, to make a successful wedding, Indian wedding, because it's not, wedding sounds okay, but it's more a festival. It's a more a festival of 3-4 days celebrating so around, and we celebrate with the family. Of course, we work there from the smallest member in the hotel till the general manager. We all work for that wedding, and we really put passion in. And there was no family so far where the father of the groom and bride and the parents, they come down after the wedding, and really they are so grateful and they thank us, they hug us even. So because we want to create memories for them to go out. It's not only to finish the wedding. So again, coming back to your question, it's the soul, the heart we put in, and the passion we put in. That's a difference between us and perhaps other beautiful venues.
But I also must add, with Palazzo Versace, everything has a story. It's a hotel of stories. Anyone can build walls and great facades, but every single place here has a story. From the Mosaico lounge in the front, the mosaic flooring that's been made and how many stones, from the entrance to the area that we're sitting in right now, everything tells a story. Even the toilets and the Mosaico on the toilets have a story. And that is my favorite part of this hotel. Every time I go through a walkthrough, I never get bored. I hear the same stories again and again, but I love every story that is told to the family. So you don't come here to do a wedding because it's a brand. You come here for the stories, and you go back with lots of memories.
It's, I come here since 5 years. I come every day back here. So I go back every day from my work. Of course, you're tired. You have work couple of hours. So, but every morning you enter into this hotel, into the lobby. You have the feeling is special, as Arun said. So you feel very proud to enter into this lobby. It gives you a freshness, it gives you energy. This house has a special energy. So that's what everybody feels. Entering into the lobby, the energy you get from this house is unique. And of course, the team members and the overall team. And the quality is also not so bad. So the quality is also one of the kind, so I would say.
Great. So before heading to the rapid fire, okay, over to you guys. If you want to ask anything, quick ones. Okay, first for Mansoor.
Hello, Mr. Mansoor. This side Keshav. Any major setback while you starting your career? Few tips you would like to share regarding the same.
I remember, when in Germany the system is you do your apprenticeship 3.5 years, 4 years, and then you start. It's like a driving license. You have a driving license, but it doesn't mean you are a good driver. So you need to go to earn practice, experience. So, and as you said, you started your first wedding with 1,600 people. I started my first session of experience in the best restaurant at that time in Europe. I don't know if it was a mistake or it was. Now I'm happy to have done that. So I was a commis or young chef after my apprenticeship, and I started in a restaurant with 3 Michelin star up, 1 Michelin star down. We were 18 chefs. I was the youngest among the chefs. And they were all chefs at that time. 25 years ago, were not chefs; they were wolves. You enter into their territory, so they want to eat you. So, and I remember I was not earning a salary, only food. I was getting only money for the food, but very proud to be working there. And after 6 months, because I was so many times shouted at, and after 6 months I wanted to quit, because I was not even sure if I'm able to chop onions or tomato every day. You have this pressure, and I stopped for 3-4 weeks doing nothing. Yeah. So, and then I was speaking to myself. What's your passion? What do you want to become? Why have you gone through this way? You have not earned salary. You did not go for the salary. You went for the passion, and then. That was the point for me to start my career really in a different way. From there onwards, I decided whatever comes. Now I have gone through the worst 6 months, 8 months. So worse than that, it cannot become. I went to different restaurants, and started it again. I'm so happy I have gone through this time. And whenever I face difficulties, I always set myself back and remember this time. So
some other company handling, say, production, some other company handling the catering, some other company handling the logistics. How do you coordinate, and do you feel a sense of achievement and perfection when you work around with these companies as well?
No, absolutely. When it comes to destination weddings or weddings anywhere in the world, even when they come here, we get to work with different partners, different vendors. Like I said, any wedding has between 60 to 100 vendors.
Right.
The last wedding we did, there were 120 chefs just in the catering department that were flown from all over India. In fact, the client was so serious about food that we even got fruits from 8 different countries flown down for the wedding. In an environment like that, collaboration is key. So working with each other, having things pre-approved, look into things operationally. We create a lot of Excel sheets. We have something called the flow of events, which on the day we know what happens per minute. But behind the flow of events, we have also something called the mechanic sheet, which then breaks down every event by the minute.
By the minute, right.
And we sit down with our entire team internally first. We go through everything, and then we sit externally like a BO. We sit with the entire team, the hotel, all the main vendors, light sound suppliers, decorators, florists, and we go through the entire flow. If something is required, we try and kill that problem there and then to ensure that nothing happens on the day. You see, in our line of work, there is no second chance. Once something is wrong, it's considered wrong. We cannot go back and make up for it. And even if we go and make up for it, it's still considered a mistake in the front. So we strive for perfection from the start.
That's nice
Yeah.
to hear.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
5 learnings that you would like to share with them, that, okay, be prepared for these 5, my 5s.
Flexibility in a positive way. So let everything come towards you. Sometimes you don't have to sort it out. There are so many people around, especially who create Indian wedding. Like, for example, the team of Arun. Sometimes the issue comes towards us, but before we want to try to sort it out, somebody else has done it already. So sometimes you have to relax, be flexible and relax. Yeah, and again, go always positive into this event. So it starts always with difficult negotiation, which are the spice of the event, and it ends to a celebration, and it's by the day of the celebration, everything runs by itself because it is so beautifully pre-planned. As Arun said, so everything is pre-planned, being it the hotel, being it the event organizer, the caterer, everything is fantastically planned, everything is structured minute by minute, and the flow goes by itself. So, and I have to say, as a hotel manager, sometimes I see myself dancing and celebrating with the family. So on the evenings, because we are happy. We are happy for the atmosphere. And another most important part is, as I said, so liaise yourself, jail yourself into this event and be one with it. So these are the 3 most important parts. And I personally, I have learned so much from not only these events and being also in India. So it has so much to offer. The country has so much to offer that you never stop learning. Not only looking at the people or at the food or the culture. So I never forget in Mumbai, in the evening when it becomes busy, the traffic is crazy. People stand and they play police. They guide the cars to left and right. So that's the beauty of this not only of this country, of the culture. And I'm so grateful to have gone through that, really.
Great. Mr. Arun, your 5s.
I'll give you 3 solid points. I think passion plays a very big role. If anybody is in this business for the money, this business is not for you. Nobody can make you wake up in the morning with a smile every morning and go to work, and when you work for 14 hours and come back and you're still smiling. That only comes from passion. So in our businesses, whether you're a hotelier or a wedding planner, passion plays a big role. You can't chase money. Money is something that comes. Even for Chef Mansoor, I don't think he ever knows what's coming in. He wants to see smiles everywhere. He wants to see the families happy, and the money is just coming. That's number 1. Second, like you mentioned, also flexibility plays a very big role. So not just from the hotel perspective or from our perspective as a wedding planner, flexibility flows all ways. Whether with the venue, whether with your vendors, last minute things happen and things are bound to go wrong when you're doing destination weddings. So it is very important that you have the right team who are willing to do things for you. I remember we did a wedding in December wherein we had a very high profile client and the service staff was falling short. And I started serving, it was a sit down dinner. I started serving the guests and bringing out plates and helping the family. And we do it with a smile because that's what we're trained to. We enjoy this aspect. And in our culture, feeding somebody is even more, you do it with so much love and passion. And the GM came to me and said, why are you here? Can you please, we'll help. Everybody came, they saw me serving. The GM came, the event director came, the operations director came, the DOSM came, everyone's serving. They said, why are you serving? I said, we're a part of one team. So that flexibility is very important. I think the third most important thing for me is integrity. Working with honesty. Because that goes a very long way. You know, they in Hindi you say, ek raat ka raja nahi banna chahiye. You do it for the long term. You're here to stay. You're here to do things right. And that is done if you have the right integrity. So these are my 3 takeaways from the business.
Perfect. So we've already... Okay, a quick rapid fire now. Salt or sugar?
I have to choose one, no? Salt.
Okay, your midnight snack choice.
My midnight snack choice, yeah? Oh, beer.
Best meal you ever had?
Best meal, yeah. My mom's meal.
Your special ingredient?
My special ingredient, tomato and basil.
The best hangover cure?
Continue with the beer.
A dish you can eat every day?
Kebab with rice and yogurt.
One rule you swear by?
Honesty, humanity, and integrity.
Great. So now to you, Mr. Arun. Beachside wedding or heritage resort wedding?
Heritage resort wedding. It brings the culture.
Themed concept or royal concept?
Themed concept.
Floral decor or fabricated decor?
You see, I'm about larger than life, so fabricated decor.
Day weddings or night weddings?
It's like asking a mother which son you like the most. I love both. I like day weddings. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the sun. I enjoy that moment when the sun is right.
India, Dubai?
Dubai.
Weddings or events?
Weddings, always.
Concerts or award events?
To take the awards, award events.
Well, thank you so much. You've been great answering all of. But thank you so much. So all these rapid fire prepared by Honey Jen. So clap for you, I would say. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Arun, joining us. Thank you so much, Mr. Mansoor, for being the great host.
Fantastic, thank you.